I don't really want to talk about the Blood Money update. I haven't really been impressed with any of the updates since Frontier Pursuits. I don't think a lot of people have. I think there's a lot of people arguing about it and defending it. And, my last video where I reviewed the Quick Draw Pass, I was, almost positive about it, which is a weird feeling. But I think regardless of how you feel about Blood Money, the fact of the matter is an above average amount of people are unsatisfied with the, let's not say direction, but let's say with the current status of Red Dead Online. I want to do a video about this, but I feel like all my videos have been about this. I feel like I've been complaining about Red Dead Online as long as I've been playing it. I'm someone who's like rank 600, and I don't even want to get into the semantics of how I feel about that sort of existential burden, where I'm one of the biggest detractors and one of the most consistent players of Red Dead. I do, however, just want to talk about this Covington Emerald heist. I spent a lot of this update grinding Capitale. I hate saying that. Payoff of Blood Money, as far as I can tell, is going to be these 3 opportunities that they're not calling heists, and it's a good thing that they don't. But I want to talk about specifically this Covington Emerald heist because I just feel like it's a grim bearing of things to come. I'm not going to get bogged down in the semantics of talking about whether or not Blood Money was good. There's already 1,000 videos out there about that. I haven't been pleased with the direction Rockstar's been heading in for quite a while, but I've still been here kind of hoping to be pleasantly surprised. Really, I think I'm part of the majority of players who just want more of the features from single player that made the game so good to come into online, but we'll see if and when that happens. We'll see if that ever happens. My money's becoming more and more on no. So, the Covington Emerald heist, if you can call it that, which, again, I don't think we should, is like this pinnacle and costly opportunity given to you by, the Italians to steal this emerald. And it's kind of presented like as best, almost like a thrown-together pseudo-heist, like a missions version of a heist, if you will. Right? You can kind of appreciate what they're going for. Like, it's like a severely guarded train. It's almost like a stealth mission, when you go in and you have all these bells and whistles. Like there's a couple different dialogues to listen to, and there's a desk clerk to speak to, and there's as you dig deeper into this, something that even the article in its massive amount of depth didn't mention was that there's some boats you can kind of take in to survey the area and go around some of the guard detail and get up on the docks. So like there's more thought, depth, and opportunity to kind of choose the direction or the angle you want to take in this opportunity than a lot of the missions that we've seen come out of Rockstar in a really long time. That being said, at the end of the day, it's still just like literally like not... Somehow it is exactly a train heist, but it completely demonstrates they don't understand what we like and want about the train heists. And something that particularly annoys me is that after spending a lot of time with it like I have, all the shit around it, the chests, the fireworks that you can discover, the guard conversations, the guards themselves, like all of them are kind of irrelevant, which is to say like meaningless to the general job, which is just to go in, grab the thing, and then bring it to where you have to bring it. And the reason I'm kind of so critical about this is that you'd think with all of the extra bells and whistles there'd be some sort of point, some sort of influence you could kind of have over this mission to either get yourself more pay or to make it easier on yourself. And while there is like stealth options and opportunities, of the 2 times I was able to successfully stealth onto the train and get the gem, one time I was automatically detected by guards just in the general vicinity, and another time it's like it didn't even pay out anything extra. So it's like it doesn't even feel like these are the same guys who did heists in GTA. And I guess the argument is, well, like, it still pays well at the end, and this is, one of several other jobs that are going to come out, and it's drip-fed. But, like, it's really unsatisfying on numerous levels. Like, it's not just unsatisfying in the sense that, like, there's no reward for it, but I mean literally, like, you don't need to use the checkpoint they've set up. It's actually worse to play with other people because they're not necessarily as stealthy as you are, or they're possibly going to get you killed. There's no point to using the fireworks because not only can it trigger the train leaving early, but, like, you don't even need the fireworks to stealth onto the train. In fact, you don't even really have to stealth onto the train in Saint Denis at all. Like, you can stealth onto the train from the ambush checkpoint, which is kind of all the funnier because the checkpoint in the ambush zone zone is just literally a cart that you can move onto the tracks, and a mounted minigun that if you're smart you wouldn't use and don't need to use. And like, I don't know. The only other place you can kind of get onto the train is the slaughterhouse, and there's like a chest there and a bunch of guards, but it's not really worth the energy or the effort. I just, at the end of the day, like, the easiest thing I found was to just climb onto the train and get onto the roof near some boxes where the guards weren't really positioned, ride the train out of town, and then just jump down. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just, it doesn't, I don't get it. I don't know why time or energy was spent on this, considering how sort of completely irrelevant these extra features and aspects and tidbits are. And further salt in the wound is, of course, like, talking to the station clerk and then finding out that there's other chests in the map that literally just contain, like, jewelry. So, like, bottom line is these things have a couple potions and some gems worth $2 or $3. But if you're a high-level player, neither of those things are appealing to you. And what's worse is that if you go for them, the train might leave without you and hurt your opportunity to do it stealthily. Not that it really matters one way or another. Some other, like, amendment complaints, I would say, is that the AI has a real penchant or tendency towards just detecting you / getting alerted or aggro on you. I love, like, to me, it's so obvious that, as per usual, this lacks of playtesting, because much like the random guys that don't spawn in who shoot you in the Jeb missions, there's also, like, these wagons that just don't know how to traverse this map terrain. You can tell it was just plunked down, but nothing else was really done. I love, too, that there's a train cart on the train that actually has stuff inside of it, like, much like the single-player game could be blown open. Why? It's just on the cart, it's on the train just to make it seem or look different, but you can't even get inside of it or do anything. Like, how much better would it be if you had to stop the train and blow that door open to get the emerald out of it? Like, that would be so much more interesting than what they've done. And an additional thing, too, is, like, I couldn't believe that there's no opportunity to kind of reclaim or make some capitale in the final mission, and that there's no other bonus loot on the train. Also, the convicts, the two convict guys, do nothing. They're literally, I managed to stealth onto the train and untie them, thinking that it would help me, and then all they did was get killed quickly and blow my stealth. It's so dumb. We're not going to know their reasoning. We're not going to find out why they make the choices they make. I mean, with the exception of people making some vague attempts to blame the feedback tool that no one is using, and all the YouTube videos and Reddit threads that don't matter. The truth of like just look at the content. There's a lack of effort here. There's a lack of depth, and more than anything, there's a lack of replayability and fun. Something else I don't get is, like, if there's going to be 3 jobs, let's say they're going to have these 3 jobs long-term that are going to be available in this game, you can't even play 3 without having to farm them. Like, let's say you wanted to stockpile Capitale, shouldn't the max be 75 then, so I could potentially play them back-to-back with the three max difficulties? Like, yes, you can do it if you've got 50, but it just seems like on top of the limits they put in, they also put, like, a surprisingly low amount on the cap just to make it extra obnoxious and much more likely for you to buy Capitale. And again, I'm not faulting Rockstar for wanting to monetize and make gold off of their player base. I have too much gold. I'm faulting them for doing it lazily, and by doing it by just trying to create syncs that have no intelligible feedback loop for players. Like, there's no reason. Like, no one should want to grind Capitale to redo the Emerald mission beyond experiencing it the first time. And once you have, you realize that, like, literally, it's way better to do Red Bed and Clemson, or even just, like, resupply missions from the trains, because that's got a better, kind of more spur of the moment, off the cuff feel, which is what the players wanted. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that the guys behind Red Dead Online don't want to make it more like the single player game. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I've never been part of an online game that was so AAA and so good, but also so far removed from the content that's so obviously needed. Like, man, Red Dead Online can only impress you the first time and then break your heart the longer you spend there.